This
We'll enter into the
conference will now
concept
be
of
recorded.
EFS actually. So anyone gone through NFS? What does NFS do? What is purpose of NFS? Anyone gone through that area?
It's a network file sharing, so we can able to share the it's a kind of common share. So whenever you mounted the NFS on the particular servers, once the share has been created, we can able to share across all the instances. It's a kind of common share we can able to access.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's not only for the logs. Not only for the logs, Bonnie. You can also store the data. You commonly use the data actually. It's not only for logs. You can also store the commonly used data for your respective application. Right. So now here, there is a scenario, guys. I require a common storage environment, where my application can access that common storage. Right, where my application can access the common storage. So now here you have an .data. So let's see here. Let's open the .data here. So now here you have an application where you can need a common storage environment. Here you have an EC2 application 1. Here you have an EC2 application. Right. These two applications should share the common storage environment. Right. EFS. That means the data which is your application is sharing here. That means the data which is sharing your respective application of the app 1 should be there in the EFS here. And data which is stored with application 2 should be stored here. Right. That means if suppose it's going to this application, both are the same applications. If suppose this application is shared a file called, right? If suppose if application is shared a file called, right, Tom, and this application can able to use the file Tom. If suppose this application is created a file called Jerry, so this application need to be access that respective file. Access the respective file here. This is what it need to do. Right. This is what it need to do here. So like that, you need a common storage environment. Like that, you need a common storage environment. Right. Like that, you need a common storage environment here to enable the respective our application. So for that, you guys are choosing an EFS actually. EFS stands for Elastic File System. EFS stands for Elastic File System actually. EFS stands for Elastic File System. Right. And it works under the protocol of NFS. Right. It works under the protocol of NFS here. This is one main important thing. Right. This works on the protocol of NFS. NFS listens on port 2049. Right. NFS listens on the port 2049. Listens on the port 2094. Sorry, 2049. So now here, this is very important. Right. This is very important. Right. In terms of enablement of your respective services. This is very important in terms of enablement of your respective services here. Like, am I clear on this? Am I clear on this? This is how it works. Right? This is how it works here. So now here we'll create a common storage environment. Now here we'll create a common storage of the EFS and we'll share it across two respective file systems. Right? Two respective file systems. So now here let me change the region actually. Let me use Ireland. So launch instances. Two instances you need to launch. One is in one availability zone and second one is other availability. T2 micro. Here going with an 1A availability zone. Here going with an 1A availability zone. So adding a storage of 8 GB. This is for my root volume. So next add the tags. This is for name equal to EFS over 1A. Name equal to EFS over 1A, and this is the security group. 22 you are opening the port. Review and launch the instances. Right, review and launch the instances. Right, review and launch the instances. So now here, so I need to enable one more instances on 1B. Go for the launch instances. Click on the Amazon to Linux. Again, to select the T2 micro. Instance type is over on 1B. Just add the storage. Add the tags. Name equal to EFS-1B. And review and launch the instance. Okay, I forgot to take a tree actually. So not sure whether I have any chase key or not. Okay, I have it. Fine. So now here I launched the two instances here. So and here the EFS storage volume also is similar to your respective EBS, right? You have a general purpose storage here, which is nothing but GPS, and you have an respective frozen IWOP. Right, you have an respective frozen IWOPs here, and you have an respective, right? You have an respective magnetic disk. Right, here you have an respective magnetic disk. So this is how it's going to be happen. So three things here in the EFS: general purpose system, general purpose storage, provision IWOPs, and magnetic storage. Right, magnetic storage here. Right, and the magnetic disk, general purpose storage, provision IWOPs, and the magnetic disk actually. So these are the three things. Right, these are the three things here. So now here, so now here you need to enable the respective EFS volume. That means common storage volume. So for that, you need to open the 2049 port within the VPC, right? Over the internal communication, you need to open the within the VPC over the internal communication. So let's see how it's going to happen here. Let's see how it's going to happen over the internal communication. So whether I need to open the inbound or whether I need to open the outbound. Whether I need to open the inbound or whether I need to open the outbound. For the EFS, to create a security group. In or out? So inbound, because my EC2 accessing my respective EFS in the incoming traffic, internal, which is nothing but egress traffic here, inbound here. So now here go for the security groups. I'm opening the respective inbound here, create a security group for the EFS. So add a rule, and here typically I'm using the custom TCP, and the port range here I'm been using here, right? Custom TCP and the port range here I'm been using. What is the port range I need to use? The EFS actually, which listens on NFS protocol 2049. Here in the custom resources, I'm been allowing only the within the VPC here. Go for click on the VPC, get the VPC CIDR first. So here, this is the one where you're getting the CIDR here. Allow only this respective VPC routines. Right, this is the one. Right. So now go for this respective services, EFS actually. EFS here. So now here with complete over the region, not in with one availability zone, completely over the region, not in with one availability zone created. Right, completely availability of the region, not only this. So now here within the file system, it is going to be created your respective EFS volume here, right? So now here you need to use click on the respective. So these are the by default when you created the EFS, it is going to be enabled with the help of respective. All the endpoints are going to be already going to be enabled with all the availability zones like 1A, 1B, and 1C. All the availability zones like 1A, 1B, and 1C. So this is how it's going to be happen. So now this is enabled. Go for manage here, right? So here you need to choose the EFS. right? Save this respective one here. Like the EFS security group, because it's going to be allowed within your respective, right? Because it's going to be allowed within your respective VPC. Am I clear on this? What I'm trying to do? I created two EC2 instances. I created EFS. I enable the security group within the VPC so that the EC2 can able to communicate with your respective EFS. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts, guys? Every one of you. Banu, Jiva, Mangesh.
So yeah, the EFS will be available throughout any region, right? Not in
Within
a
the
particular Mhm.
any availability zone or region?
region, I say. We
Within
selected
this
some
region,
option.
actually. Within this region only. Same EFS you
Okay.
cannot use on Mumbai. Same
Mhm.
EFS you cannot use on Mumbai actually.
Okay, but could be accessed over any availability zone within a single region, right?
Yeah, you can. Any availability zone, yes, you can. You are right. But not outside of your respective region. Right?
Okay.
But not outside of this respective region. That's how it's going to be done. So now the second thing here is you need to understand about the how to connect this respect to EFS actually. So first of all, you need to install few of the utilities. Right? You call this one as an utilities actually. Right? You call this one as an utilities actually. So now here, let's log in into the instances and install the utilities. So go for the public IP address, enable this one here. So I think what is the key for this? HAS is the key.
EGS.
Yeah. These keys are pretty complex, guys, actually. Right? You need to use the specific keys only. So now here for the for our respective identification, one A with should be going to be an white screen, and other one should going to be an with black screen, right? For our comfort, to make you guys understand. So I'm converting the EGS key from the respective .pm to .ppk. So now here install the respective utilities of EFS. Install the respective utilities of EFS actually. Just give me a second, guys. So you need to use a command called minstall Amazon-EFS-utilities. What is the meaning of utilities, guys? One guy asked me in the interview question. What is the meaning of utilities? So minstall-by Amazon-EFS. So two instances I have enabled the EFS. So now here, so when you use EC2-metadata, it will showcase you, right, the instance informations actually, dependency package, but it's true, right? So here, if you use the command called EC2-metadata, it will going to showcase you the right IP address and all these stuff actually, all the instance informations here. So now you need to understand. So here I have been using an I need to bound this one to the respective 101 here. So 101 here. So here you need to ensure that respective EFS here. So here go for the networking. So now here, first how to check the connectivity? How to check the connectivity? What is the command to check the connectivity? Telnet. So as my instances is in 1A availability zone, as my instances is in 1A availability zones, I need to check here 2049. So telnet command is not found. We need to install the respective package for the telnet. So here you have a connectivity actually. So as I'm into 1A actually, as I'm into 1A, you should completely utilize the 1A availability zone. Right? As I'm into 1A, you should completely utilize the 1A availability. Right? This is one thing that you guys need to understand. As I'm into 1A, you should use the completely 1A availability zone. So this is one thing that you guys need to understand here. So now here, this is my key is not there. So now here, you guys need to use some commands actually to mount your respective EFS volume here. The command you need to use mount-t. So -t stands for type of your respective file system. So now which file system I'm been using here? ext2, ext3 or ext4, or you've been using XFS file system? What kind of file system you guys are using? Which type of file system you guys are using? NFS4 file system you guys are using. So to mount your respective file system, so you need to create a directory actually. You guys need to create a directory actually. So what is the command to create a directory? mkdir here. mkdir /efs. I've been creating the /efs. And then you need to use this respective command here. Right? You guys need to use this respective command here for enablement of your respective services. So mount -t NSS4, right? IP address. What is the IP address here? This is the IP address here, right? This is the IP address here, and //EFS here. /EFS. This is the way you need to mount. This is the way you need to mount here. So now here in the B actually, now here in the B, you need to use similarly mkdir /EFS here. I need to use mount-t right? NFS, NSF4, right? IP address here, colon slash, right? And slash EFS here. So in the two EC2 instances, right? In the two EC2 instances, you guys are going to be utilize the respective EFS. So now here, let me create a directories here. So mkdir, I'm going to create a directories. So 1 to 100. So 100 directories I have created. Similarly, I'm going to create a touch file 1 to 100. So 1000 files, 100 files, and 100 directories I have created. Similarly, you need to create this one touch file. So 100 here. Right, 100 files here. So now here, if you observe that, right, if you observe that, so where you have created, actually you should create it on slash EFS directory. Yeah, you're right. After the mount, you need to create slash EFS directory. Sorry. So touch file system 100. So now it should replicate here. Let me create here mkdir directory, 100 directories I'm creating. See, so now it should reflect here. If I created the files, the directories from, right, directories from 100 to 200, it should replicate here. 100 is already exists and it's creating from 101 to 101 to 200. So now here it should replicate here. You understand, right? The common storage. If suppose any of the applications I can use, right? I can use this one, the EFS. Can I mount it this same EFS volume to one more instances which is there in the 1C availability zone? Can I do it? If suppose if I do it, the data which is there in 1A, 1B, can it replicate to 1C? Can it replicate it to 1C? Yes, it will replicate. So let's figure it out that experiment as well. So let's create a one more EC2 instances in 1C as well. Okay, fine. You guys, everyone understood, guys, what I'm trying to say? Every one of you understood. Banu, Mangesh, Jiva, Pawan Kumar, Nitin Mangar, Rohini, Uday Kumar. Every one of you, right? So you need to do the assignment with 1C, right? 1C you should do it, and the data which is going to be there, it should replicate to 1C availability zone. 1C availability zone as, right? So that's how it works here. Now the secondary here. So now the second thing here. So you guys need to understand here. Now second thing you guys need to understand here. The EBS you can take the snapshots. EFS you can take the snapshots. And also you can enable the lifecycle manager actually for both of the respective EBS and EFS. When you enable the VPC peering, actually you can share it. VPC peering, the resources you can use, you can share within the VPC peerings, you can share once you enable the VPC peering. Peering means the communication between the two VPCs actually. The resources which are there from one VPC to another VPC can able to communicate. So that I will discuss in the networking class, how to enable the VPC peering. right? Once you have enabled that one, you can perform those activities, right? Different region also you can enable the VPC peer. One region to another region also you can enable the VPC peer. That is also possible, right? Yeah, it will make you the slow. Actually, generally, when you observe that scenario, EFS itself is an right. EFS itself is an very NFS protocol itself is an comparatively it's a very latency, not very high latency, but it gives the latency for you, right? It gives the latency for you. That's what it do. So there should be some kind of slowness EFS. NFS itself is a good point actually, Avinash. NFS itself is in slowness actually because the protocol itself isn't slow when compared to the respective the way how you are using the EVS. But here when you are using the provisioned IVOX, yeah, you may get a good throughput here. You may get good throughput here. That's how you do, right? That is one thing. Yeah, you have an access points are there, right? Production logins, access points are there. You can use those respective access points. You can provide the read write that I will discuss right now. I would like to discuss with the lifecycle manager first, then I will go with the right production logging of the EFS. Right. So now here for every, so if you keeps on taking the snapshots, right? If you keeps on taking the snapshots, the snapshot policy wise it's too huge actually. If you keeps on taking the snapshot, the billing for your respective snapshots are very high. So for to avoid that kind of steps, you need to use the respective lifecycle policies for EBS as well as EFS. So now here you need to enter the resource tags here, right? The tags are pretty important. This is going to be identified to the respective tags. The tags are pretty important. So now here, go for the volumes. Manage the tags, add the environments. So EFS equal to true, right? EFS equal to true. EF is equal to true. Right? You're using the tags here. So now here, by representing these tags here, you guys are going to be use EFS equal to true. You guys are going to be use the same tags. This is the case sensitive actually. EFS is an uppercase letter. In true, you have an true T is an uppercase letter. We'll see how it works. So go for the lifecycle policies here, right? You need to use the same tags, EFS, and the value is right. So here prod icon lifecycle policy, right? Prod icon lifecycle policy here, and you need to use the snapshot backup. Backup equal to policy equal to snapshot. Right? Policy is going to be enabled here. Right? Sorry, this is one thing. So EFS equal to the value should be $2. Right.
So,
This is the
Sumit, what
tag
is the
here.
meaning here? What is it if you select true? What is the meaning here? Like,
So basically, it will identify the tags here, whatever the EFS equal to 2 for your volumes. So now here in my case, Now in my case here, so you have an volumes here, and here you need to use this volumes, this key. It will identify this key of this volume, and it try to apply this life cycle policy.
Got it.
Right? This is what it do. So now here, enable this respective policy here. So this is only for while you guys are repeatedly taking the snapshots, right? While you guys are repeatedly taking the snapshot here. This is only for this snapshot. Right? While you guys are repeatedly taking the snapshot, this is the only for this here. So now here, what you guys need to do, so scheduling time daily with 12 hours. So the retention type count equal to how many snapshots you can going to be keep here? 7 snapshots here. Basically 7 snapshots are okay for you to to ensure that, right, your respective backup is in the good format here. So review this respective policy here, right? So every 12 hours it's going to take the snapshots, and retention period is 7 most recent snapshots. That means what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of retention period? What does it do? Right? What is the meaning of this? What does it do? It will keep only the 7 latest snapshots actually. 7 latest snapshots, 7 most recently used the snapshots. And at any point of time, it will maintain only those many snapshots. And it will try to remove the respective, right? It will try to remove the respective other unwanted snapshots. In my case, it's a 3.5 day. Why 3.5 day? Why not 7 days here? Days to keep the backup. How many days here? Every 12 hours I'm taking the snapshots. And I'm asking to maintain only the 7 latest snapshots, actually. 7 most recently snapshots. Actually. In that case, I will only using this. Right. In that case, I'm being only having the 3.5 day backup. Am I clear on this? That 3.5 day backup. Am I clear on this? Right. That's how it works. So now here, this is how you guys are going to create a policies for your snapshot. It will take every 12 hours and it will manage only the 7 days. Actually, it will manage only the 7 most recent snapshots, which is nothing but clear. Clear? Any questions, any doubts? So that's how it's going to be works, guys. So now the next thing here, similarly, you guys need to enable the backup for your respective, right? EFS as well, EFS snapshots as well. If you enable the lifecycle policies, EFS snapshot, you enable the lifecycle policies here. Right, EFS snapshots are, right. So now here go for the EFS and enable it, that lifecycle policies for your this. So for that, every service will have an lifecycle policies to reduce the billing, right? So this is going to be helpful for you to reduce the billing cost. So AWS backup services will going to be useful for here to enable the retention period for your respective EBS as well. This will discuss in our coming classes more deeply. Now coming to answer this respective the question of Avinash. So here you have an access policies here, right? Here you have an access policy here. So here you can restrict the respective read-write access for an individual here, right? So specific user ID, specific group ID, you can enable here. Generally, what is the user ID for root? And what is the non-root user ID? What is the user ID for the root and what is the non-root user ID? Root is for 0 actually, not 0 0. 0 is the root, right? And then what is the respective user for your uh, non-root user? I can consider as 1001, right? Can I consider as 1001 for non-root? Yeah, 100, 1000, whatever it is. So now here, this way I can restrict the respective permissions here. So prod access permissions here, prod-efs. So the default directory is slash. I can put it on /efs here because my mount point is that. And here the user ID 1001 and the group ID also I can mention as 1001. So secondary group ID I'm going to mention as 1000. So permissions here, right? Root directory, create the root directory permissions for this owner here is 1001. Similarly, the 1001 here. So directory path here I can mention as 0755. Both all the execute read write permissions and execute permissions. Here I can mention the respective permissions. If you want only the read, what is the permissions I can give here? Only the read for a specific user. Yeah, 444. Right. So like that I can enable this one. So name equal to prod-efs. Create an access point. This is what I can do. Am I clear on this? Avinash, this is what I can do. So now here, this is how the EFS, two volumes, you have discussed about the EBS, you have discussed about the EFS. Now tell me the scenario in which case you guys are going to use EBS and in which case scenario you guys are using EFS. So now based upon your understanding, any one of you, what is your thought process when in which case you guys are using the EBS and which case you guys are using EFS? So EBS can be only for the having a not having the common storage. It's going to be a dedicated storage actually, right? It's going to be a dedicated storage for one of the standard EC2 instances. If you need a common storage environment, you need to go with the, right? You guys need to go with the respective EFS actually, right? You guys need to go with the respective EFS. So based upon the scenario, you guys need to understand, right? The usage of the volume based upon the scenario. You guys need to understand the usage of the volume. That's how it's going to be, right? Am I clear on this? This both of the volumes here. Any questions, any doubts on these two volumes, EBS, right, and EFS? So here you guys need to learn few of the basic commands of the respective Linux, right? You have the basic commands of respective Linux.
Hello, Shanmugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about the user access here. Let's say I'm accessing the common file system EFS from an application instance from server A. At the same time, I want to restrict to whichever access request coming from server B. And once whatever request has been satisfied from server A, let's make it usable for the world. That was the second point.
Then you need to create two access points. One is for the useful for the world and for the application. Two access.
Dynamically, how? Okay, now I got okay.
So one is for with your respective application, whatever the thing you require, and second is for your respective right? Application end user perspective, 2 access points you need to provide to the customer. One is for customer and one is for your respective application. So in one case you provide the read access, and second case you can provide read, write, execute access, depending upon your respective usage, right?
And there, for security purpose, you have already told us about the inbound, outbound.
Inbound, outbound within the
Okay,
application. And
thank you.
you also have an data at the transit at data at rest, actually encryptions. So that I will discuss in the concept for games.
And that monitoring will give us the who accessed up to what time, right? I mean,
This
accessibility.
monitoring will have these kind of metrics actually as of now. So throughput wise, it will have the number of connections, the client connections you have. How many number of client connections here? So this much of monitoring is only available here.
Okay.
So that's how it will be. So now here we'll enter into the, this is how the EBS. Any other questions, guys? A good and valid questions. I must answer. So now any other questions, guys? Apart from okay. So silence I consider as no. So now you guys are entering into the concept called S3 here, right? S3 storage here. Simple storage services. Actually, typically it's very important actually. Right? Simple storage services here. Right? Here you have been using the mechanism here. Right? Here you have been using the mechanism here. Right? Here you have an, it will going to be used the object level storage. It's going to store the object level storage here. Right? It's going to be used the object level storage here. So this is very important here. So now this is object level storage in the sense you consider as an unstructured data, right? Unstructured data here. Object level storage in the sense you consider this one as an unstructured data. So unstructured data in the sense it will store in the form of key equal to value, right? Unstructured data in the sense it will store in the form of key equal to value. This is one main important thing. Key equal to value. This is one very important thing. Unstructured data. So now typically the S3 is an unlimited storage environment. There is no restrictions here. So here you have a features of S3 is unlimited storage environment. There is no features. There is no limit here. Unlimited storage environment. And it supports, right? It supports versioning here. It supports versioning here. That it supports versioning here. And it is also going to be enabled. That it supports versioning here. And it is also going to be enable the respective replications across the region, right? Replications between the cross regions here, right? Between the cross regions here, right? Between the cross regions here, replication between the cross regions, and it will going to be like connect through with the help of API as well as CLI commands here. API as well as CLI here. Application programming interface as well as command line interface action. Both it will going to be supported. And it will also follow the storage types of S3 here. Right, storage types of S3 here. It will also have going to be follow the storage types of S3 here. The first one here, you have an standard storage environment, right? Standard storage here. And the second thing you have an, right? And the second thing you have an reduced redundancy, right? Reduced redundancy. And the third thing here you have an, right? Third thing here you have an, right? Very important thing. The third thing you have an infrequently storage access is called. We call this one as an infrequently storage access structure. Storage access. So basically, the usage of the S3, the use case of S3 in the your real-time environment, use case of S3 in your respective real-time environment, you are entering into the, you can store your images, you can store your respective videos, and you can store your respective application logs, right? You can store your respective application logs here, right? You can store your respective application logs here, right? You can store your respective application logs here. And you can also store your respective the data like your backups of your SQL databases. You can export your respective backup of your respective databases over the S3 bucket. So these things you can perform those activities with the help of S3. And S3 is typically very important storage environment in your real-time environment, right? So majorly the things are going to be focused over the S3 is very important, right? So this going to be have an, right? This is completely falls under to the PaaS services, right? So as you know, the PaaS services in this sense, the availability and the completely is going to be availability and the hardware is completely going to taken care by the AWS. It falls under the category of PaaS services over the AWS, right? Availability and the PaaS services completely going to taken care by the AWS. Only one condition here, you need to use the unique S3 bucket name, unique S3 bucket name here, right? Unique S3 bucket name here. This is how it's going to be happen. So this is about your S3 bucket replication factors here. So here you have these many features, and also this will have its own lifecycle management. It will have its own lifecycle management to reduce the cost here. Right? It will have its own lifecycle management to reduce the cost. So lifecycle management here. Right? Lifecycle management here. This is how it's going to happen. So we'll continue this practical by tomorrow, guys. So I want you guys to go with an EVS actually, EVS practical by today or tomorrow, and EFS practical. I want you to go with the these two practicals actually on immediate basis. And also you need to completely give the command Linux command explanation here for all the Linux commands. Basically, what is the purpose of fdisk-l and what is the purpose of your mount creations, why I need to put the respective syntax over the /etc tab, those each and every command explanation I require, right, while performing this assignment here. I want you guys to go with this assignment by today or tomorrow, this 4 and 1, right? Yeah, these comments I will share right away. So one thing here I required in the assignment, create a EBS volume, create a primary root volume of 8 GB, right? Of 8 GB, right? And extend to right? And extend to 40 GB. So create a snapshot of secondary volume. That means you need to attach the secondary volume, not the primary volume. Primary volume won't work. Create a snapshot of secondary volume, right? And reattach to and attach that snapshot. Attach the snapshot in different region, right? In different region here. So create a EFS volume, right? Create a EFS volume and shade across the shade the EFS volume, shade EFS volume in two different availability zones, right? In two different availability zones here. This is what you guys need to do. And this assignment you guys need to start on urgent basis here. Very immediate basis, you guys. Right? I want you guys to complete this assignment as soon as possible. I shared Mangesh over the group. So yeah, how much time it's going to take? It's hardly 1 hour actually. Hardly 1 hour it's going to take, right? Hardly 1 hour. I think you can manage. Right? So now here tomorrow we're going to discuss about the S3, and day after tomorrow we'll entering into the concept of IAM actually, identity access management. Right? So pretty important concepts, and here it required an huge concentration actually, very high concentration levels. Right? That's what you guys need to do. Clear? So how far you guys are understanding, guys, these concepts actually? You guys are good, or you guys are having some kind of issues with this explanation, or you guys are facing any kind of difficulty here while you have been discussing? Almost you have completed, I believe 15 concepts you have completed. How far you guys are understand? You guys are pretty good, or you guys are not able to understand, or you guys are feeling some difficulty here, right? You guys are understanding well, I believe, or what is your thought process here?
Shanmugh, yeah, as per my thing, yeah, I'm good actually. So the thing is, we are practicing, and we need to go through the topics, regular basis with practice actually, because as a GUI everything, so we need to do practice regularly so that we until we are familiar with the topics actually. Yeah. EMI, which we discussed, right? So that is the full topic. We are any other extra topic we need to work on the EMI part.
No, that's it. EMI wise, that's it.
Okay.
Nothing else is needed. Right.
So as I discussed, right? So for in the EMI part, so if I want to kind of I want to create a new image actually for my, for example, I want only this application. I want only this this many. I want only this type of 10 file systems based on the application. A kind of related application related application file system and related to DB file systems, and I need this type of operating system. I need only this. So in this case, like how I can go with that, to create a separate EMI for my project.
So here, first of all, you need to, whatever the changes you want on your respect to AMI, you need to create from the base AMI only, base AMI.
Okay. Is there any
That means
process
Amazon Linux.
Shanmugh, for that?
No,
Any
if
other
you want to
process?
customize AMI, for example, you want to tweak the operating system based upon the kernel parameters you want to tweak. That is not going to be possible. You need to follow some basics of AMI only. Base AMI you need to develop by yourself on top of it. And you need to take the AMI and you need to consider that one as your golden AMI. If you want to tweak the operating system, no, it won't work. And it will face a lot of challenges while booting actually. That won't work. Good question actually. So yeah, you cannot tweak the operating system. You should follow the basic fundamental, whatever the Amazon Linux has been giving the. On top of it, you can do the modifications and you can take the AMI from it.
Mhm. So I'm not sure.
Tool parameters like maximum size increases and the soft limit and hard limit, these kind of things, you can definitely enable it, and you need to take the AMI, and you can consider it one as a golden AMI.
So I'm not sure how much I understood. So the thing is, so I have to take the base image, then I have to create a base image with the one of the instance, and I have to modify with the whatever volumes I need,
Yes.
through manually, and whatever application I want to be install on the particular base image, I have to import everything. Then I have to create, I have to take the instance. I have to the particular instance thing. I have to take AMI, right? I have to create a
Yeah, and
snapshot from
consider
that. You have
the
to.
AMI consider the AMI as your golden AMI.
Mhm. I can use that. I can use that AMI number while building the server, correct?
True.
Okay, got it, got it.
Yeah, so I request you guys to work on the assignments, each and every one actually, so that you guys are definitely. It's an easy way of expressing your things in the interviews. If you are doing the hands-on experience, you will gain the confidence. Listening wise, you guys are nothing will going to be good after. When you put your fingers on your respective cursor and doing some practicals only and typing some commands over the terminal, then only will gain the confidence. Right? So build your confidence level by practicing. That is very important. Attending section, everyone can attend from the mobile phones or wherever they, right? But practicing is very important actually. Right? So just complete the assignments in a perfect manner. Let us know the questions, we'll discuss, we'll elaborate more, so that you guys are going to gain the confidence. Right? That's how it's going to work. So thanks a lot for your time. So I'm seeing the students are coming at 8.7 and 8.5, 8.8, right? And few people are completely taking the recording sections, right? And not attending the sections on regular basis. Doesn't make sense. You guys are paying for these things, and if you want to attend for your recording videos, go ahead and attend in the beginning, right? And if you have the huge amount of money, I will give my account number actually directly transfer your huge amount of. My account will accept everything actually, whatever you think. Right? So pretty important. You guys need to understand this is the training where I can give my best. Yeah, you should utilize that opportunity. That's what I can say. Right? Recording videos only by doing the sections of your respective assignments. That's why I see no other trainer will allow you for the recording actually, because as you know it's a business defect. But even the publishing my recording across the all the WhatsApp channels, still the batch number will not be into it. That's how I call it. Right? Recording sections only for your reference for your future. It's not about okay, I will skip today, I will attend for the record. It's not like that. Right? I hope you guys have got my point actually. Thanks for your time, guys, and we'll meet by tomorrow sharp at 8.